What's up? We're back here with episode 4 of Basketball Recap. So today we're going to start out with some NBA. Ryan's going to talk about the Western Conference.
So far through the first 20-ish games of the season, the first seed and the 14th seed are separated by only 5.5 games, which is ridiculous. It's hard to think that the 14th seeded Jazz won't make the playoffs. They're only a game and a half behind the Kings, who are in the 8th spot. But I think people have been saying, analysts on ESPN, CBS, whoever covers NBA, they're saying that this is the weakest Western Conference that they've seen in a while. I think that's totally inaccurate because a lot of good teams are not in the playoff race right now, or not in the playoff picture as of right now, but they can be. And I think the 8 spots that are in right now, I think maybe only 3 or 4 are guaranteed to make the playoffs, with some of the other ones coming out. And teams like the Rockets and the Jazz and the Spurs are all not in a playoff spot right now, and I think that's bound to change over the rest of the season.
Alright, in the East, got a little bit of a different story there. We've got the Raptors at the top, 18-4, completely running away with the division and the conference. Aside from a 5-day stretch where they lost 3 straight games, which is 75% of their losses this season, they have been unbeatable. The huge trade for Kawhi Leonard in the offseason seems to really be paying off with Kyle Lowry, and I think that they're going to lock up the #1 seed and have an easy road to the finals. Alright, we're going to go right to game picks. We've got 3 games to pick. We're going to start off Golden State at Toronto. What do you think?
I did say the Celtics were going to make the finals in the beginning of the year. From what I've seen so far, it looks like it's going to be Toronto, and I still think Golden State's going to get there. And I know I said before that I can't pick against Golden State, but they are really a different team without Steph Curry, and we've seen that. And I don't think that they can stop Toronto in Toronto. Expect a huge game from Kawhi. I think he's going to come out himself, and the team are going to send a message to the whole NBA that they are now the best team in the NBA, overtaking the Warriors.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. This Golden State Warriors team is a different team than we've seen the past 3 years. I think that Kawhi Leonard defensively is going to lock up Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, whoever they have him guarding. I think that in Toronto is going to be home court advantage. There's no way they're going to lose this game.
Next game, Denver Nuggets versus Portland Trailblazers in Portland. Who you got?
I'm going to roll with the Blazers. I do not think that Jamal Murray is going to be able to handle guarding either Damian Lillard or CJ McCollum. I think the guard play from Portland is just too good, and the matchup is just not right for Denver. What about you?
I'm going to agree with you there. Both teams have looked great this season at some points, and they both looked horrible at some points. Portland, 3 straight losses. I think that they're going to get it done against the Nuggets, who have won 4 straight. I think it's going to be a big turnaround for them in Portland. Going in there, it's a loud atmosphere. Damian Lillard is going to take over. He's going to show that he's the top point guard in the league.
And now we've got the last game, Denver at Toronto. What do you think?
These are 2 very good teams, but right now Toronto's rolling at home. I think they're going to come off a big win against the Warriors. I think they're going to take it against Denver.
I'm going to have to agree with you again. I think that Toronto at home, they're the hottest team in the league. There's no way they're going to lose this game.
So now we're going to switch to college basketball, and the most shocking result of all of Thanksgiving week, Duke losing to Gonzaga.
Yeah, so this is easily the biggest news coming out of college basketball this week. Everyone was saying, Duke is the best team maybe we've ever seen. They could beat some NBA teams like the Cavs. All these rumors are going around. And Gonzaga in the Maui Invitational, they go out and they beat them 89-87. I think the question here, everyone's saying, oh, Duke lost. I think the better thing is that Gonzaga beat this Duke team that everyone was saying one of the best teams we've ever seen. Gonzaga is no slouch. They were coming into the game number 3 overall in the country. I think that they showed that they're a team to be reckoned with, and that they are a serious threat in this NCAA tournament. Do you have anything?
Yep. So from this game and other games, there's a big shift in the top 10. Gonzaga and Duke flipped 1 and 3, with Kansas staying at 2, but they had a big statement win against number 5 Tennessee, which dropped them to number 6. Number 5 Nevada Wolfpack are 7-0, and the Michigan Wolverines, last year's runner-up, have moved up to number 7. And Michigan State, number 9 team right now, tough loss to Louisville. They will drop out of the top 10 in the next ranking. So, give me 2 teams so far that have really caught your eye.
I think that the first team, maybe people are going to think, oh, obviously they're a good team. But I'm going to go with Gonzaga because they just, as we just said, they just knocked off the number 1 team in the country. They proved that they are a serious threat, and I think that they showed that as we get closer to March, that this is a team that you do not want to play against. Another team I have is Texas. In a matter of a week, they knocked off number 7 UNC, and they had a tough 10-point loss to Michigan State. I think that on Sunday they do play number 19 Purdue, which will be a big test for them. If they are able to win that game, I think that they should really be considered a serious threat. They're getting some great production from their guards. Roach is averaging 18 points per game, and I think that it's a very key thing in this Big 12 this season.
For me, I got number 16 Ohio State Buckeyes. After a Big 10 regular season win last year, they didn't do much in the postseason. Lost in the quarterfinal of the Big 10 tournament, and then lost in the round of 32 of March Madness. A lot of people are underestimating them this year because they lost their best player, Keita Bates-Diop. He's now playing for the Timberwolves. But what people don't see about this team is Chris Holtmann is one of the best coaches in college basketball. They've gotten big wins away at Cincinnati and Creighton so far. Started 6-0, had a tough loss last night to the Syracuse Orange, but they've really been locking up so far, holding opponents to 58 points a game and 25% shooting from the three-point line. I think if they can get the offense running, they're going to have no troubles on defense, but last night they were shut down by Syracuse, and that's the one thing I'm worried about for them, if they can produce offensively. And the other team I'm looking at, number 5, Nevada Wolfpack, led by the Martin twins. You might remember them from last year, their March Madness run. Overtime game in the first round against Texas, 20-point comeback against Cincinnati in the round of 32, and then a loss to Loyola Chicago in the Sweet 16. They are currently 7-0, and they do not play a ranked opponent for the rest of the season. And that will include their postseason tournament. So I think they could definitely run the table, go undefeated into the tournament, maybe even sneak up into the top 3. But once we get into March Madness, it's going to be really good to see how they react to playing better teams than they've been playing all season.
Alright, we're going to go to some game picks. First one, we've got Wisconsin versus Iowa. Who do you have?
Oh, I got to watch Iowa a little bit when they played in New York at the 2K Classic, and they're a very fundamental team. They score the ball. That's the biggest part of their game. They can play defense, but they lack it sometimes. I think an overrated Wisconsin team is going to get beat by them. Make sure you watch the matchup between Luka Garza and Ethan Happ. It'll be a good one.
I'm going to agree with you. I don't think that Wisconsin gets enough production from their guard. I think that a lot of it falls on Ethan Happ offensively, and I do think that Iowa will be able to easily outscore them, and they'll win this game.
Next game, Michigan Wolverines versus Purdue Boilermakers.
I'm going to roll with Michigan. I think that Michigan has looked very dangerous so far. They've beaten some notable opponents. They beat UNC, they beat Villanova, they handed Villanova. They destroyed Villanova, and I think that they'll win against Purdue. What about you?
I agree with that. People, again, underrated them to start the season. They are 16 seed-ish, 16 in the country, and they've come off some big wins, like you said. I think that they're going to contain Carson Edwards, who's Purdue's top scorer, and I think they keep rolling, and I think they're going to be in the top 3 before you know it.
Alright, and we've got Iowa versus Michigan State.
This Michigan State team has looked good, and they've looked really bad at some points. And I don't think they're going to be able to put together a complete game against Iowa. I think that they score too much, and I don't know if Michigan State can get enough from their big guys in that game. How about you?
I'm going to agree with you. I think that Tyler Cook is going to control the paint. They're going to out-rebound Michigan State, which would be a huge factor. Second chance points. Because you cannot give this Iowa team a second opportunity to score the ball. They can score the first time. But if you give them more and more chances, they're just going to blow you out of the game. Alright, that's all we got for this week. See you next time.